Climate change lockdowns, the next pandemic. JT here, Serenity Farms prepping. I'm beginning to think that the 2024 elections are not going to happen. I've been thinking that for a while, but I was never really sure of what scam the Democrats are going to try and use, the elites, the deep state, the globalists, to stop an election. I think it's going to be climate lockdowns. Maybe even with the alien invasion thrown in for good measure. Let me explain. So, as we know, Trump has virtually locked up the Republican nomination and very likely the presidential nomination. We know the Democrats cheat. We know they want to do it again. They've been trying everything they can do to stop Trump from being able to run. That is their plan first and foremost, because they think they can beat someone else using algorithms on the interweb. Dead people, mules, mystery mail-in ballots, 2020 repeat. But they understand if Trump's the nominee, they can't cheat enough. Or at least that's what we're being told. So let's base my theory on the assumption that they can't cheat enough if Trump's the guy. So they got to get rid of him. And it's failing miserably. Everything they do makes him more popular. The old standby was a COVIDian scamorama. But I don't think a lot of people are going to go for that anymore. I'm hoping they learn their lesson. That involves too much money, too much time and effort. They had to have fake tests with fake swabs and then fake poison jibby-jabby things. And then hospitals on board and doctors and nurses and every other criminal from the last time. And that all cost billions. Took a lot of time, energy, and people caught on. I don't see that happening again. I don't see them being able to use a malaria or a mosquito or some other made up virus. I think people are just going to say no. The war, in quotations. Russia's not playing. A lot of the American public are realizing that the Democrats are using this so-called Russian invasion to cover their own corrupt crimes against humanity, child sex trafficking, money, weapons, and drug running and laundering. 25 plus chem labs. It's all being exposed, and that also has a very high cost in manpower, ammunition, fuel, money. They're hanging on to it, hoping they can force Russia to do something, or they'll do something themselves before we get to next September, October, but it seems to be waning. So what do they have left? Climate lockdown. a totally disproven theory, those darn conspiracy theorists on the left, that has no scientific basis of validity, just made up numbers, fear-mongering, hysteria. I mean, it resembles every other scam they try. But to declare a climate lockdown, that is simply all they have to do. They will have to produce nothing. They get together with the criminal UN and the WHO and other libtard dictators and declare a climate emergency across the globe. Then they simply lock down an entire planet in the interest of saving said planet. I mean, okay, here's Netherlands produces number 2 producer exporter of food in the world behind us, the USSA. John Kerry has been on a tour spouting everything he needs to do to combat the climate crisis. He is trying to convince people that agriculture is 26 to 33% of the carbon emissions produced in the entire world. So in order to get us all to eat better and save the planet, we have to stop producing food. You getting that? In order to stop heating the planet and getting everyone to eat better, we have to stop producing food. Makes perfect sense, right? But they literally have to produce no evidence or facts. They just declare a climate lockdown, and that's it. This would limit everyone to their house for whatever number of hours the regime has determined will be adequate. I'm guessing somewhere in the 18 to 20 hours a day range. Foreign troops, UN troops, Chicon troops, illegal invaders, scumbags, treasonous U.S. National Guard, they would all be stationed throughout the cesspool shithole American cities and the world to combat the very soon to follow riots and civil war. Driving may be allowed for work purposes, straight in, straight out, clocked, docked, no travel, no extracurricular activities. Food, all services, but food specifically, will be severely rationed. Within weeks, the masses will begin to get unruly as they begin starving. Your cesspool shithole cities will quickly turn into summer of love type situations. Burning, looting, rioting, assaulting, murdering. The curfews that will definitely be set, because this is going to be martial law climate lockdowns. There will be no power because I assume they'll be trying to conserve energy. So your streets in all these shithole cities will be pitch black. no street lights, no store lights, no home lights. Everything is going to be rationed. And when you live in these big cities, they will be turning utilities on and off at will. Certain sections of a city will be given the times they're going to have power. Say, for instance, Brooklyn, 2 to 4 p.m. That's your power. Manhattan, 4 to 6. The rest of the shithole cities, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be like that across the land. Civil wars will quickly break out. As try that in a small town, folks. Don't put up with the stupid shit from all the idiots that have helped create this problem. This is a perfect depopulation, lockdown, install Democrat regime permanently scenario. You see it coming up more and more every day as the fake news lapdogs give Camel Face Carrie more airtime. Pedo Joe continually talks about the climate crisis and the next pandemic. He didn't have to let us know that it was likely the same thing. He's only reading anyway. That's what I think's going to happen. I think they'll do it in the hottest time of the year, next year, 2024, meaning June, July, August, when it's scorching out and they can say, this is just too hot. The grid can't handle it. Major cities are starting to suffer brownouts. So, in the interest of saving humanity, which they don't want to do, we're going to do a climate lockdown. It's an emergency. The WHO has authorized it. And then every utopian socialist Solinsky wet dream they've ever had will be implemented. I don't see the Uniparty doing a thing to try and stop it. It's going to be up to us. If we haven't acted now, you're very likely on your own. So, next summer, and while everyone's locked down, they might throw in an alien landing or this or that, some other fear-mongering thing, and then everything else we've ever talked about proceeds from there. But they need everyone captive and locked down and scared out of what little minds they have left. Then they're much easier to get to comply and indoctrinate and blah, 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 blah. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, comment, notification bell. But for now, JT, signing out.